All right, so we will begin our analysis of Body and Soul here. Body and Soul by Johnny Green. So we playing a few chords as we go along. We can hear what's happening. All right. So if you're learning a tune, if you're a couple ways to go about that. You can, of course, learn from another individual, um, and kind of work through it and talk it through. You could learn it strictly from listening to a recording. It's a very powerful way to do it. And then also working with a lead sheet. So in this case, we're going to be working with a lead sheet from New Rule Book 2 for Body and Soul. And if you're looking at sheet music, as we're doing today, first thing to look for is the clef sign. Just make sure that's treble clef, or if you read a different clef sign, then just have general awareness of that. Key signature. So here we have 5 flats. So what we want to train ourselves to do is think about the relative major and the relative minor. So that really narrows things down. So not only have we narrowed down kind of the note choices, you can play a D flat major scale to warm up a tune. You know, when you see this key signature, and then play a 5 chord, that would be an A flat 7, and then play like a real simple just triad for D flat major, so that we get a sense for what the tonic chord sounds like. So again, back to the major and minor kind of thing. So when you see a key signature like this, you might be in B flat minor or D flat major. So we're going to be focused on D flat major in this tune. Okay, and then we have the time signature. C represents common time. That's another way of writing 4/4, because that's the most common time signature. All right, so let's check all this out. And I will create a quick jam board here on Google, which, if you're not familiar with that, it's basically a digital whiteboard. So we'll make some notes what we're doing here. Okay, I'm going to keep this just like this because everything's sort of lined up for lead sheet. But here we go. So we have the key of D flat. So let's write out the notes. So D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, and C. All right, so let's identify some chord qualities. So we have the notes. Now we can associate certain chord sounds with those. So D flat will be a major type chord, E flat minor, F will be minor, G flat will be a major type chord, and A flat will be a seventh, dominant seventh. B flat minor type chord, and then C will be half diminished or minor 7, flat 5. Now, the chord qualities in this tune that we're doing will be pretty much in line with this, but there could be different chord qualities. So these are flexible, can change, can borrow from other keys, or change these chord qualities. But this gives us a starting off point. So we have D flat, label as the 1, E flat 2, F minor 3, so E flat minor, F minor, G flat major, B4, A flat, dominant 7th is 5, B flat is the 6, and C minor 7 is going to be the C minor 7 flat 5 will be the 7. Okay, so that's the basis of what we're looking at here. So we have the 2, E flat minor would be the 2 chord, which we just determined. B flat will be the 6 chord. Let's go back to that Jamboard. So if you remember, we have B flat minor. So see right away something is a little different. And so that has a function. So say 5 of 2. So it's functioning as a 5 chord. So it's 5 of 2, and then we're back to 2. So let's hear how that sounds. We have the 2 chord, 5 of 2, back to 2. Okay. Remember, our tonic is this, right? D flat. Okay, and then A flat, 7, just like we wrote out. That's the 5 chord, and then finally get to the 1, right? So tunes don't necessarily start on the 1 chord. So we have 2, 5, 2. So 2, let me go back. 2, 5 of 2, 2, and then 5, and then 1. Okay, now this is a 4 chord G flat. So that's a 4 chord. And then we'll keep in mind that this is a little bit outside of our key center. Well, it's not really outside of our key center, but it's a little bit outside of the tones that we're generally using. So this has an F flat, whereas a G flat is going to have a F natural, right? So this, you might say, functions a little bit as a 5 of the 3 chord if you look at that tritone away from that G flat. But really, we don't have to overthink it too much. It's just kind of a movement into the 3 chord, but you might say flat 2 of the 3 chord. But really just a little movement into the 3. All right. So we have a couple different changes for this this next one. So we have the flat 3 diminished versus the flat 3 minor to the flat 6. And that's forming a little bit of a 2-5 basically. Let's go with the E diminished for now. So F minor to the E diminished. So it's passing things down to the E flat minor. Right. So we have the 2 chord, E flat minor. So C minor 7, flat 5, like we said, that's the 7. Okay, and then F is the 3. F7, here we have major and it's dominant. This is very common because that becomes the 5 of the 6 chord, which is the relative minor mode or key. So, say 5 of 6. So C minor 7, flat 5. F7, I'm including a flat 9. And then we're going to B flat minor. So that's the 6 chord. Then we have a 2, 5, 1, back to D flat. Now I'm playing a major 7. They're asking us to play B flat or D flat 6. Play that chord quality, but it's helpful to think in terms of that just major type chord as being a family of chords. All right, and then here we basically have a bit of a 2-5 in E flat minor. Okay. Relative to our key, that's a 3, and then a 5 of 2. Okay. And then I'm just going to write a little bit of a double bar line here. Because that's where we're going to repeat that section. So let's go over this slowly. So we have E flat minor, B flat, E flat minor, E flat, D flat. Try to scroll a little bit as we go. G flat, F minor, E diminished, E flat minor 7, C minor 7, flat 5, F7, playing a flat 9, B flat minor, and then E flat, A flat 7, and then D flat major. So that's basically that first section, what I would call the A section. So I would say A. Now they're lumping all of this, all of these 2 A's and calling that the A. So that's usually the ABC kind of configuration, but I would tend to think of this as AA, BA. This, so where we left off would be the end of the first A, and here we would start with second A. So it's kind of the same, but then when we get down to just a couple of beats before the bridge, say that is a going to be a 2-5. But it's a 2-5 in D major. Key of 2 sharps. And you can see our key signature changes here. If you're watching on the video. But aside from that, we can say, okay, flat 3, flat 6. Relative to tonic. So we have a bit of a key change here. So we're going to reset. Maybe I'll even use a different color. So we're going to be in D major. So we have D is our 1 chord. So let's hear how that sounds. So we ended up on D flat, and then we're going to play. Just going to work up. All right, so let's write out key of D major. See what we expect there. Expect to find there. D. Let's write out the notes first. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp. So we have the same letter names as D flat, but we have different accidentals. So everything that was flat is now natural. Everything that was natural is now sharp. So let's write out the chord qualities. They're just the same as above. So D flat major 7, E flat minor 7, F sharp minor 7, G major 7, A7, minor 7, C sharp minor 7, flat 5. Okay, Roman numerals, just the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so here we're walking up the scale. And then when we get to the 4 chord, notice the difference there is in the key, it's 4 chords major. And in this tune, it's minor. So we want to be aware of that. So D flat, major 7, E flat, minor 7, F sharp, minor 7, and then the G minor 7, minor 6, rather, minor 6. We're going to be looking at the minor 6 pentatonic quite a bit today. Channel, or in the member area on the channel, YouTube channel. Fret Prince, YouTube /Fret Prince. All right, so let's keep it going here. Okay, so F sharp is going to be the 3. So 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. That's a sequence of numbers you want to get really familiar with. So 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. All right, so we have a key change here again. We're going to D minor, do D minor chord, but we're going to the key of no sharps, no flats, so C major. So that's interesting because that's going to be the 2 chord. That's the tune starts on the 2 chord relative to D flat. So it's starting on the 2 chord relative to C major. Another interesting little thing about all that is that we have a key center just a half step above the original, and then just now a half step below the original. So that's interesting. So let's see if I can write out C. All right, C. Well, let me write out the scale. So we'll do the scale: C, D, E, F. Just rough sketch here. A, G, A, and B. Same chord qualities: major 7, minor 7, major 7, major 7, dominant 7, minor 7, flat 5. Okay, and then we have same chords. I might use yellow. Not sure how well that's going to show up, but see what we can do. 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. So there we can see we have, so in the key of C, we have 2, 5, 3, flat 3, 2, 5. So, and this is just such a clever way to get back to that E flat. It's very elegant and pretty straightforward. So we get to, we notice we never had a C major here, so we have C7. So kind of call that at 1 for a minute, but then it's going to go by half steps, and by the time we get to this B flat 7, then we are back to the 5 of the 2 chord. So we get that motion down, so you'll hear that. So in C we have 2 to the 5, 3, flat 3, 2, 5, and then 1. Then we start, came back down, and then you can see how much that makes sense when we go to the final A section. Right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this talk. This is a very, very important and crucial kind of activity, analyzing a tune and understanding the functionality of everything. So, so I hope you get a good amount of time on this one. All right, thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.